Welcome to All That Matters, a channel about all and everything. Today I'm going to review a book by Apurva Purohit. Lady, You Are the Boss, The Adventures of Women at Work Part 2 by Apurva Purohit. Apurva Purohit's this book is very easy to read and is packed with concise and practical lessons for someone aspiring to reach the top. It resonates with most of the working women. Her writing style is easy and is like she's conversing with us, laced with humor and is relatable to most of the working women. She begins each of this chapter with a quote which is related to that chapter, which gives a glimpse of what to expect in the chapter. She also has a summary at the end of each chapter with key takeaways from the chapter. I think this is a very brilliant idea because at any point of time you can go back and refer to the summary and relate to what is discussed in the chapter rather than reading the whole chapter itself. This will help in picking up the book and refer to it when you are in a particular situation and reflect on the tips provided. The book itself is divided into two parts.
In part 1, she talks about how women are conditioned to minimize themselves, think they are not good enough, and how they tend to minimize their strength and maximize weaknesses and always have the need to feel needed. She says retreating is also a strategy and we must learn to let go and move on. She also says that women get contentment once they reach a certain position, when they become complacent, an unwillingness to strive further and not grow beyond it. She urges women to keep striving and growing. She observes that in order to content with male ego and to keep home affairs calm, women tend to choose to mute their achievements and accept secondary citizen status at home, thankfully, which is changing with the millennials. She says that maybe we should be reverse mentored by the millennials on this. She touches upon aspects of subconscious bias, prejudice about single women, and the importance of sisterhood and real life role models. She also talks about menopause and midlife crisis, which many of us do not realize are the reasons for feeling of emptiness and desolation. She urges these women to seize the opportunity to uncover the lost individuality, accept the challenge to become a better version of the previous self. In part 2, she talks about the lessons of leadership, the traits one needs to cultivate and develop in order to become a leader of your destiny, your organization, of yourself. Part 2, I feel, is not necessarily for women only. It applies to anyone who aspires to become a leader. She talks about tough love, where parents discipline the child all the while reinforcing the love, which ensures that the child understands that you are doing so to improve them because you value them. The same principle applies to work also. She talks about the need to have intelligent teammates with a mind of their own. Leaders should teach courage to the team, which emboldens them to question the leader's judgment and to have opinions contrary to the leaders. She talks why communication is important for great leaders and how to ensure that the message has reached. She also says that listening is a powerful tool to access to speedy and timely information, often critical in averting disasters. I find the fourth chapter in the part 2, prioritizing what is your first and foremost goal, very important. While targeting multiple goals and prioritizing is important, even more important is to prioritize and focus the first and foremost goal. The F1 helps you to make right call in decision making process. Curiosity makes the leader constantly questioning the status quo. 3 levels of probing, why, helps unearth new information. Here she shares the story of her husband about how he changed the view of his team, with which he saw bigger competition and which helped him to design new strategy. She talks about the necessity to act, to make a choice. Making a choice is always better than making no choice at all. She also talks about perseverance, planning the implementation, delegation, measurement, and monitoring, and the importance of building winning teams. She reiterates the necessity of consistent commitment, which in her 3 words is Kehna, Karna, and Nibhana. She talks about the need for leaders to build an engaging culture with strongly upheld and practiced values. Leaders should also have personal accountability, owning responsibility for his actions and the consequences thereof to become an effective leader. My take on the book: I like how Apurva Purohit has used everyday examples to get across her point. She has used reference from Bollywood movies like Chak De India and various other books which many would have read. Some of the famous movie dialogues are also used to drive her point across. The usual hard to read leadership lessons are made easy to understand with everyday work stories and examples. I really like the way how she used a cake to break the ice with her new team and how she appreciates an elevation in role of an employee with a Bournville chocolate. I do not agree on the forced stereotyping of women workforce by men, but then that is my opinion. I believe the tips provided by her in the second part of the book apply not only to women but to anyone who wants to be a leader. With that note, I conclude this review and I suggest you pick this book up if you are an aspiring leader to reach the top.
Hope you all liked watching this video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.